I was about 55 and had gone to Maple Leaf for the second time. Didn't get it the first time. I went to school to become a massage therapist. I had been a nurse, caught a 600-pound man falling out of bed, broke my back. I didn't walk for a couple years after that. They didn't see that this disc was laying on the nerve that made me walk, so they kept telling me it was all in my head. Till I went into the doctor and I sat down and I said, I'm not leaving this office until he figures out something to do, because I can't live like this. I went to a doctor who himself was an addict. So, of course, he was willing and able to support my addiction. It wasn't, from what I understand, he's no longer practicing. Yeah, that was a messed up time, really messed up time. And unfortunately, being in the throes of addiction, I embraced it. I wanted my drugs. So I, like I said, went to Maple Leaf twice, gave up the drugs, but it was still there in the back of my head constantly. So I became a massage therapist, and I'm working in this office, and this woman keeps coming in to see me. Finally, she says, you know, I see God at work in your life. And what I heard was, you've got a wonderful life. So I wanted to hear more about the wonderful me. That's how I interpret it. It was just, you know, I was a hot mess. She says, I think you should go to Essex Alliance Church. Took me 3 years, and finally I started coming to church. I grew up in the church, but I never heard that I was supposed to have a personal relationship. Finally coming here and giving my life to Christ, it took quite a few years, but I finally got rid of it. And I don't really think about it at all. 2017, got ancestry DNA for Christmas. I was adopted. I went from having 3 blood relatives to over 1,600 overnight. And I found my first cousin. At the same time, I had gotten my adoption papers from California, and it had my mother's name in there. So I said to this cousin, I said, well, my mother's name was Genevieve Mitch. She goes, oh, that's my aunt. Oh, by the way, she's still alive. But what my cousin suggested was that she give my mother my phone numbers, and if she wanted to contact me, she would. The corn roast of 2018. We came, we ate our fill of corn, and 6:45, I wanted to leave. I wanted to go home. And I usually run my mouth to the end. I get home, and 20 minutes later, my mother calls for the first time. And I just see God at work in that moment. When I was born, she asked to see me, and they told her I died at birth. So our first conversation, she was, all right, when's your birthday? Tell her. Where were you born? Tell her. She goes, all right, I guess you're mine. We went down to Florida to meet her. We got an Airbnb, and we took her with us. And we spent like a week. I have 2 sisters on my father's side. The interesting thing is that we're all Christians.